Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Well, today we are actually nearing the end of Avatar season. We are now definitely into Lorwyn. We will be getting Lorwyn in the next few days, so it's interesting that they usually close out midweek Magic with a Phantom Sealed event. But here we are, and we are going to probably do. I guess it's a nice way to have a second seal without actually having to pay into it. My also getting Basing is not a great one. So Earthlings is fine. So we get some different directions. It really depends on the other cards. I guess what also kind of soured me on the last sealed event is that I used to think that choosing a faction, choosing a group was kind of fun, but now I think that it was. But now I think it's kind of unnecessary, or I really don't like it that much. Anyhow, looking at their lands, blue black is looking like a good option here. Serpent's Pass, considering we did see an Azula. Also seeing a Foggy Swamp Keeper also pretty much helps in that regard. Hama is also quite good there. The caveat being that if we do splash, we won't have a land that will support the splash. So let's take. So our initial directions is pretty much blue black. Quite a good amount of support. We'll just have to see if the rest of the deck holds up. And green white, which I'm actually honestly starting to sour on a bit. It's not really that great. It's great to get the ball rolling early, but if you don't, it's a problem. So let's start with that thesis of blue black. Then let's see how many cards we get to work with. Boomerang Basics is nice. Fortune Teller is fine. Water Bending. So blue gives us quite a few options here. And let's see black. Heartless Act, one of the better removal spells. The black part is not so strong, but we do have quite a good number of options here. I guess we are going blue-black. Yeah, it looks like we're going blue-black here. Just a very quick look at the others. Red gives us not enough lessons. Some nice fire binding and bending in fire sages, but and there's an Ozai Phoenix King. If you lose, okay, this might be worth it. This might be interesting. We will generate a lot of mana, but this is a 6-drop that we this is a 6-drop that we don't have a real way to ramp into. Like artifacts wise, we don't even have the water skin. We do have an Angst Journey to help fix our mana a bit, so we could count on that. Let's take a quick look at white green for allies, because that would be what we would go with between these two. And white doesn't give us enough allies. It literally just gives us 1, 2. Okay, 3 copies of Kyoshi Warriors, but that's a bit on the expensive side. Let's hope it. Does green give us enough cheaper ones? No. 1. And that's it. So white green is a very iffy. Yeah, we're definitely going blue black here. So one merchant's fine. It's not great, but it's still fine. We don't exactly have a way to generate counters, so the Buzzwasp Colony it's just a draw card effect. Foggy Swamp Hunters wants us to draw cards. Probably just have the Canyon Crawler. And every sacrifice another permanent put into this creature. I guess the issue we have here is a lack of ways of drawing a second card. Like we are forced to run Geyser Leaper for that effect. I guess the 2 lands help fill that up here. They're running Deadly Precision. We may have 100 tank that's fine. I don't think I don't know if we actually have quite a lot of non-creature spells, so that's worth considering. Also, we're kind of even at 12-12, which is not great. Energy bending is pretty much just a draw card effect for us, which we will have to run here. Okay, so let's do a quick check. What are things that we can probably cut? We don't exactly have water bending. I guess there's a benevolent with. Yeah, we do have one water bending, but that's about it. Okay, there's a water bending lesson. Okay, there's enough water bending to justify a battle fan. And finally, we don't really need to fix. I don't think we need to fixing. Probably still gonna fit, I guess. We do have enough allies, so I don't think we need to add the merchant. Yeah, the problem with Buzzard Wasp colonies without cards that naturally have well, like I could sneak in an Earth Village Ruffians just to give us an extra creature, I guess. I guess that's fine. I guess this is fine enough. Okay, this is what. And you have a Rumble Arena as an option, but how many Earth Bending cards do we have? I think it's literally just this one. Okay, we'll run it like this for now. Anyway, this is a midweek Magic event. We won't get there's no elimination per se, so we will be able to make changes and try out other things. But that said, it looks like green blue is pretty much the one direction we want to go to. And I forgot to check how many lessons we have because I think this one is actually cuttable. We're definitely leading past into fan. One is really going to do lots of mana here. Now, this does not have flash, so actually we kind of worked the sequence here. What we could have also done is we could have just swung first if our opponent blocked and we spawn snare trap that one. I might as well swing with this one because I'm not blocking. Yeah, we probably might have misplayed this one. We used up quite a lot of our resources on this. Yeah, sure. Now we could tap this down for the time being. Now, this is an instant. It'll draw us a card and it will make this a 2/3 by surprise. So I guess we can kind of hold it back for the time being. Yeah, that's a very good rare. Path to Redemption. bit more annoying, but so I probably should still draw a card. Yes, I will. Yeah, because they're both allies anyway. The water bending lesson doesn't. Yeah, not this lesson. It's possible that our opponent just happens to have enough removal so that we might not be able to make it through. Yeah, we kind of used the removal a bit early. Yeah, we can concede this one for now. Well, and this is gonna be, and this is also probably a case of why I dislike sealed. Um, it's I dislike sealed in print sets, so to speak, or sets where the rares pretty much dictate the entire pace of the game. Now, at Avatar was not it's not that bad per se. I'm kind of 50-50 on which is worse, Final Fantasy or Avatar. I've always been in the opinion that the Universes Beyond sets have always been kind of print sets. If we draw more lands, I can just abandon attachments into that, so that's kind of fine. I guess one thing we do have to consider is that we don't have much of an early game, so we have to. I guess we'll be cycling this one. I could also just abandon attachments, pitch this one. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna be in trouble with all these early game decks if we can't get control, and we don't have that many ways of getting control. It's gonna be another issue. I'm probably gonna, so I'll play this one first. Then next turn, yeah, we're gonna have to remember that we can't just throw removal willy-nilly. Airbenders Ascension again. So next turn we could do hop. Honestly, the best bet is to just drop this one first. I could offer the trade, but I'll hold for now. When it finally finds the first splash color. I could give up both of these just to get rid of this. I could chump block, but that doesn't really do much. I guess I can give up both of these. Let's see what their last card is. If we can get their last card out of the hand, it does help me a bit. And I'm not completely net negative. Yeah, they... Not completely net negative here. We got rid of combat. So, let's see. So, one non-land card. Yeah, if I drop this, I won't be able... I would like to set things up a bit first. Also, another thing I could do is... Yeah, I can just drop these two. the setup now is that they're gonna. Ooh, they happen. Well, it's a boomy with 4-0, so it's just literally a. So it's just literally a 4-4. It is gonna go big. We'll give it that. We'll activate. Yeah, we'll take. Oh, nope, cancel. Activate. We want to get from our graveyard, though we only have one good ally. And we don't want to take the Razor Rings because we want to be able to... So now we're pretty much dodging our opponent's other drops. We could... Invasion reinforcements. Okay, so... Yeah, Team Avatar's actually... No... Well, they're still attacking with that one. It's... Yeah, this is where it fails. They finally... So I could cast this now, just tap the fan, but I kind of want to wait for them to attack first. Oh wait, it's only on my turn? Okay, so it's only on my turn. Okay, so that's something I need to remember. Yeah, that's the problem with combat tricks. You have to cast them. Yeah, this is another case where the rare gets into... Yeah, we can concede this one. The rare got in... their rare got in the way again. Ugh. We do have some rares too. It's just but we just haven't seen them yet. And but it also does highlight that the swamp trap is not really great. It's actually good it's good for taking out the flyers, but that's about it. But yeah, airbending kind of really negates all the enchantment base removal. And this is the second opponent that had an airbending lesson. Okay, now we have kind of all the good cards that we want, but can we still win this one? I know. Shame we don't have a way of blinking Azula. That would be pretty neat. Yeah, the Swamp Snare Trap is going to keep mocking us here. Well, this time I'm already sick and tired of those, so I'm gonna just actually drop it on that now. Also note that we need double black for this, so we're not quite out of the woods yet. Yeah, we have to play these first. Another enthusiasts. Okay, we did hit our land. So I have two choices. I'm just gonna crack first. Then I could save this for next turn, and that's how I will probably end up doing that. Just have to remember that we can't block with these. I guess that's fine. Also, we will be able to get two creatures off the. Maybe should. Okay, at least they're letting us. Okay, basics allows us to reset them a bit. They might have quench. Now one trick I could do is I could bounce one of our own things first, but no, we're just gonna reset your avatar. Also, a nice thing to do is to put the earth bend here so that. So let's see, if they swing, do I double block? Do I double block because I got the bonus already? If they swing with the captain, I will block. I think I can argue that I already have enough. Now, if they have removal, at least this was a 1-for-1 removal. It'd be nice if we were able to recast, but we're kind of okay. I think they give us a they give us the healer because they don't want us to combo. And let's see, do they have the removal for this? We have 6 mana, so technically I could cast both of these right away if our opponent's not able to remove it right away. So I can't cast this. Honestly, I could have also just cast it for 5. I forgot that it has a cheaper cast mode. No problems. And no need to cycle that. Our opponent is now in the position where, yeah, if they cast that, well, they might drop another creature, so there's some choice. No, it's just a Battle Fan, so yeah, it looks like this. We are really dependent on our rares. There's just no good way around it. So they're forced to exile that. They're forced to exile the other one. Difference is that now I can cast one of them. Would they give us the other enthusiasts? Nope, they're not. They're not giving either. Yeah, somehow we got that was one of the most underwhelming wrath spells in the game. Or at least Avatar did not give us one of the better wrath effects, but it is an interesting wrath effect. I will give it at least. It's not super. It's not super definitive. It can backfire depending on the situation. So cast fire. So we got our 2 into 3, and we got our rare again. Next turn, I probably play Abandoned Attachments. No, I play Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper first. Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Oh, they can't crew it. Now, since I'm drawing 2 cards anyway with this, there is no reason for me to... Yeah, as far as the vehicles are concerned, yeah, it's really only the blue uncommon one that was actually good. And let's see. That does give the power check. But you only have 1 island, so yep, 1 island, it just goes back to hand. I guess going back to hand is fine. It's not ideal. And I think I can just take 4 for the time being, so it's not the worst. Well, Abandoned Attachments first. I might just pitch the Canyon Crawler just to guarantee the land. Yeah, we did hit the second land anyway, but there is a risk that we wouldn't, so hit first. Now, where Azula falls apart is that we end up exiling the Solstice Revelations. They might give us Aang's Journey, but I honestly don't think they will. Yeah, they'll just give us... So basically we have a dud card. Well, it goes to hand, so it's not the worst. Yeah, we're gonna just pay 5 mana for all of this. Unless our opponent has removal, in which case... not quite the worst. I think I can afford to take this one. Because I'm swinging with the battle cards. Yeah, and we'll have next turn we can just throw the firebending student under the bus. Ooh, they probably wanted the wall top sentries. And unfortunately this doesn't count as hand. So we start with this one first. Our opponent somehow gets it back. Yeah, I want to do this now because the next effect is gonna put counters on creatures. They could oh, they're actually letting it go. And we can cast this with flash too. Thank you for not blocking, not barring the way. I guess they didn't want to lose the warship? No. Yeah, like they would have been able to cast it. They would have. No. But what did happen was our opponent did not present enough creatures. And one of the few ways where the Swamp Snare Trap actually did do something. Ooh, nice mythic. So let's see how many more we can. So we do have turn 2 Battle Fan instead, but I'm okay with having a turn 2 play at the very least. We don't have a way to draw a second card yet. Did our opponent skip all the way? Not only that, I think our opponent... Okay, this is super weird. Did we just run into... Yeah, I think our opponent put their entire sealed pool, put 20-something land, put the usual 17 lands. Someone's going to have a really bad game experience. Honestly, they should concede at this point. Yeah, like they haven't drawn a single land at this point. Let's speedrun putting them out of their mid. Okay, they did hit a land this time. No, they did not. I think our opponent's just trolling. There's an argument of playing one more creature, but no, we get them on the next turn. Yeah, this is super weird. We will run into these kinds of players from time to time. Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, I could have just waited for my turn, but that's okay. They were clearly not. I have no idea. I don't even remember. I might have remembered this player before. Or not. It might just be me gaslighting myself. I'll play another match because this one is so unsatisfying. A free win is a free win. But I guess we have a case where people don't... where we could use more tutorials about certain formats. Like, for a lot of people, it's not clear that... Well, in this case, we have someone that just put... Okay, let's do a sanity check. So our opponent started with like about 90-something cards. They put their entire sealed... a sealed pool is about 14 cards with 6 packs, so 60 plus 24, so that's 84. They might have started with 17 lands. 84, 17, that's about 101. Did we have someone honestly think that every... Yeah, and this is why I say that Commander is the worst way to learn how to play Magic, and I still stand by that. Now, it being a popular casual format, I honestly think that for me personally, if I want to play something casual, I would rather play another board game. Yeah, you can call me hard-headed on that, but personally but for me that it's that is my feeling on that's my personal feeling on Commander. I honestly believe that Magic as a multiplayer format is you really should be playing you really should be playing a different board game. And there are more to games than just Magic. No, that's it. I'm pretty sure this opponent knows what they're doing if they've gotten this far. Ooh, opponent has the flyers. So next turn I can energy bending first just to get my... Also interesting that energy bending kind of worked. Okay, no more bonus tokens. I would still play this first. We don't get this effect, but we still get a lesson in the art. Well, let's see if our opponent has the Razor Rings removals. Oh, they don't. Either that or it's kinda not worth it. Ooh, that's a good one. Invasion Submersible. Probably bouncing the first time flyer. I would honestly not bounce. They could bounce one of their own creatures, which... honestly doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. So an interesting we could do is I could offer the trade right now. I'm just gonna offer it. If any, it pretty much it kind of delays the submersible. Well, if it doesn't delay the submersible, but it delays whatever drop they plan to go for. So instead of having, well, they can still activate now. They still have one more mana. Them giving up Grand is kind of weird. Well, this is sealed, not construct. Okay, now they can. But I'm okay with taking 3 here. Yeah, we're now at the point where I might actually just move the battle plan onto the first time flyer. can get our snowballers back. So yeah, we balling. And if I have a way to get this one out, painted part, it is an ally, so we have that as an option too. So we actually now want to hold back our humble merchant. Now that's it. If our opponent has a removal for the Boiling Rock Rioter, it kind of falls apart. Yeah, they don't have anything else to spend the mana on, so this is Parrot. That's fine too. Yeah. Guess you just take it. Now, is there anything I want to take from your graveyard? I want to take some lessons just in case, but yeah, we're not casting any of these. We're just removing them from circulation. Okay, so now we have something interesting. I definitely want to hold this back if I can. This one has to attack to be able to pass, but I get to cast it right away. So the problem is, I guess this is. I definitely want to keep the Bloodbender. I don't think we need the land at this point. So now dropping the River Spirit means that our opponent is not going to swing at this point, so that might be it. That's not a bad problem per se. Not the farm animals. They could snipe our battle plan. Yeah, they're getting a whole lot of that. Also, this is not an ally. Yeah, they might as well do that. Yeah, we start eating their graveyard. And we do have water bending, but it's a mana value check. Oh, I probably should have held some of these back. Never mind, it's non-creature, non-land enemy, so we take the Razor Rings. Yeah, unfortunately, the way this is sequenced, yeah, and I need the blue. I should have held back the blue. Okay, so cancel. I still get to cast this though, so our opponent needs to overblock. So that one still works. Yeah, they needed to overblock with a lot of creatures. Yeah, and we kind of dodged that one. So there we go. Semi-safe by our mistakes. We could have also just tapped their bigger creature than just. But this one worked out a lot better. Safe by our mistake, I would say. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode, Magic Arena Run. This is a good way to end Avatar season. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are, and have a great week, everyone.